I've got it. I've been listening to this. Here we go. It just seems to be entirely appropriate.
Imperial rape and infamy wrapped in a Union Jack.
I struggle to know whether to be happy or not with that. My wife has a strong point of view, but it's probably best not said today.
Unless I get a very, very strong argument otherwise, I think henceforth I will begin the Great British Radio Show at 10 o'clock every morning on LBC with the following.
Hanoverian, Luciferian, Tudor, Windsor scum, bonnet ruler, royal fool, another inbred son of the Germanic Nazi dynasty, spunked from a lizard sack.
This is one of the best songs ever written to me. I mean, it's just...
Yes.
It's a song that never gets old. The chord structure, the melodies, the time changes. It's got drama written all over it.
Your father was a paedophile, your brother is a nonce. When Michael Fagan shagged your ma, he shagged her more than once.
When I got it home to play it, I genuinely couldn't believe how good it was.
I just think it's a great song. Melody, harmonies, words.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm very bluesy, I think he is.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a lot of soul.
It's a great song. I love it.
Bonnet ruler, royal fool, another inbred son of the Germanic.
I don't. Oh, it's real. It's actually real.
I'm going to click on it and play along with it a little bit and figure out whether or not it's good.
Charlie, you're my darling, my darling, my darling. Charlie, you're my darling.
Unbelievable that this was shot in Leicester. Look how beautiful that is.
We rushed the royal entourage, the king began to shout. We smashed the carriage windows in and dragged the bastard out.
God, that's a gorgeous orchestral arrangement, isn't it?
Your richest comfy workers toil and that's why you despise.
I don't know, there's nothing wrong with this.
It already makes my hips move, this. It's got a real like sexy vibe to it.
You need the circuit ahead.
Hasn't it? Oh, nice.
Shut that cunt up for fuck's sake. Hey, what is Charlie? Oh, we all...
Good morning. It's Monday, the 28th of October. Welcome to What the X. What is What the X? I'll let you decide that. It wouldn't be for me to say. Carl Lagerfani. Good morning to you. Morning, Matty. A grand attendance. Doreen Mill, good morning to you. Rocky Vibrations, happy Monday. Arpignon Sabotager. You remember when folk used to say, like, in your birds, you're sin, that he's sin, Dan. Mind that. It is indeed. It's another day. It is a nice day. It certainly is, Carl. It's a lovely day outside. Depending where you are. Right then, well, I hope you've all had a marvellous weekend. A bit bleary-eyed this morning. I was out late. I went to a gig, yeah, even though it was an early gig. All gigs are early these days. Let me know if these sounds are too loud or too quiet. I always have to guesstimate these things. Look at that. 6 minutes have swept by without us even knowing. Oh look, there are more arrivals. Why not just let's get a shout out to them all. Ecorp W, Morning Troops for Nothing, MTV. Sabotager. Really? William Baird of the brilliant Screaming Kick, who I kicked myself recently for not having realised that they were playing when I could have gone along. So I do apologise. I had fully intended to be there. If folk are doing things and they ken me and they want me to come along, you have to message me and go, alright, by the way, because I'm a useless. We won't swear. Right, anyway. I hope you're all dandy. They just keep coming. We're filling up. I like this. What the X is spreading. Morning, Michael. An ever-expanding band of Exos. That's what we like to see. Right. As ever, there's no agenda. Or is there? Is there a screaming, a hidden agenda? Thanks, folks. I agree. Like for the algorithm. We are slaves to the algorithm. Why can I see? There you go. You can all just get on that. I like it. Once again, I return to this volume 2 of Bookham because I did mention before. Shout out to Jim Santo, wherever you are. I think you're in Australia now, bro, but I'll need to link with you again one day. When me and Jim Santo used to go down to London, blazed on NL5 times A's. We used to grow loads of NL5 times A's, sell it all, go to London and just walk about blazed. Listen to this. Right, anyway, the reminiscing ends there. Let's dive in. Because there's a lot going on. And where else would we be able to keep track of it than here? Is there anybody on the Exathon? Where's me X's? Aye. The wee lockers and that, eh? Wee lockers and the X's on the bottom. We're going to start streaming to a couple of other platforms soon as well. Oh, we've got plans. We've got plans in that. Right, let's have a look. Apparently somebody's been trying to guess my passcode. Why don't we have a competition? You can guess my passcode. You'll win a prize. I like seeing these names there. Morning from the Tory heartland of Dumfries and Galloway. Somebody said that to me the other day. They were going on about it. It's true though. I mean, the Borders is Toryland for some weird reason. But look, the Tories are in power, so let's not pretend the Tories went away. They're not even Tories with ties to landed gentry, you know, so it's even more, they're even more craven. What's Gavin Bruce saying? A proper morning out there. Wait a sec. Is that level alright? Because I've done some jiggery pokery. It's quite loud for me, but if the music's fine, just let me know if it's too loud. I kind of asked already, I'm just asking again, right? A proper morning out there. None of this woke. None of this woke. Sun shining through the clouds stuff. Just pure, unapologetic, old school, cold, wet, dull and depressing greyness. Fuck those where you are, mate. It's a grand day in the capital. Sun's shining, bro. A real porridge with salt, wearing a kilt on the hills kind of morning. Well, real Scotland, no, real Glasgow, mate. That's Ouija weather. I can't, it was louder than normal. See, there you go. Right, bit loud like. I tell you, just tell me. Right, you'll tell me. Turned it down now. Right, got that sorted out there. Anyway, no, it's not like, it's a beautiful day in Edinburgh. We'll give you a like anyway. Kensal is away, is that true? He better be. Somebody put up a picture the other day there, and it was Malky Mackay, Ben Kensal, and somebody else like walking on the pitch, and I just looked at it. I can't remember who was the other one. There was three. There was Ben Kensal, Malky Mackay, and somebody else. I just looked at the picture and I thought, if anybody, like, you could just, one was like, it was like Billy Bunter, and I was like, that's never going to work. It's just a picture that just says failure. When you've watched Hibs as long as I have, you can right away. It's nice to see these sort of, like, you know, wide-eyed younglings that are all excited about football and that, but it's like, nah, you become jaded. you can when it's pish. That looked, I never even saw the game yesterday, but terrible. What's Clydeside Express saying? This has long been my favourite building in Glasgow, and it pains me to see how it's been left to ruin as it has. Would love to have been in a position to turn it into a diner based on the styling, its history. Here is a t-shirt I designed 20-some years ago that incorporated it along with a few other nice Art Deco examples in Glasgow. Is this the ABC building that you're talking about? Are they're knocking it down, are they? Or this? Oh no, right, okay. They're tanning it. Third guy was a wee director of football operations, field ineligible player. What was his name? Do you know what his name is? Nigel says it was a poor game, you missed nothing. I had to edit something, and so I wasn't able to see it. Bert Shane says clams. So, right, there's a couple of things to cover. I'm not just winging it, like, you know, if that's what you think I'm about, you're sorely mistaken. Shall I look at that first? Because 50's put it there, and Doreen's retweeted it. No, I'll come back to it. I noticed this morning actually that, well, they're starting to work on the Jenners building, so they're going to turn that into a hotel. And then there's the other one. What was the other one? The one that's got where the top man in that is the next one along. That's in a state of deliberate decline, so it can be offloaded to some nonsense. Derek White, is that who it was? Absolute terrible. Just an image of failure. Bookmarks. What? Right, this is what the Evening News. This is what the Evening News served us up yesterday. How long is it?
Situated in the heart of the cycle.
1 minute 54. Right, let's give them 1 minute 54 of our time. It kind of bothered me because if they're going to go out and do reportage, why are they doing promos for the Waldorf Astoria and not saying it's a promo? Because you try to tell me that he paid for his scan and then they made this video in that and just put it up on their website and that. Get to. Right, anyway, it's nonsense.
Edinburgh's Caledonian Hotel unveiled its brand new food and drink destination, The Court, today, Thursday, October the 24th. Situated in the heart of this iconic hotel, this new social scene for residents and locals to gather and celebrate.
Loads of locals going in there, pal.
Exquisite and original heritage features, houses a grand cocktail bar, lively terrace for dining, patisserie, lounge, and is finished with a live music stage. I went along to try out the lunch menu.
Well, that looks pish right away. Sorry, that steak it just looks rubbish. That looks shit.
Garnish.
It looks rubbish. Right, there you go. Kevin Quinn here. This is the content that we want. This is the local news reporting that we want. Gravy.
Well, that's the main course done. Absolutely beautiful. While enjoying my lunch, I took in the incredible surroundings of the court.
Ooh.
With the cocktail bar taking centre stage, drawing inspiration from the iconic 123 train, the fastest steam train associated with the Caledonian Railway.
What is this? This is the news. This is what we need. The city's getting destroyed, and this is what we get to tell about. Some fucking hotels opened a restaurant.
I had the dessert, the Mangiare chocolate fondant.
Fabulous.
Wet salted caramel, popping candy.
Check the neck of this. This is the Evening News, right? This is what they're giving us. Check this cunt. Right, get in there, pal. Get torn about it.
The all-day dining menu has been curated in collaboration with internationally acclaimed chef Mark Greenway, using seasonal Scottish.
Right, where's the paid promo? Not a single mention.
That pudding was a great end to a great lunch.
Was it?
In the beautiful surroundings of the Court in the Caledonian Hotel. It's highly recommended.
Would you? Right, Barry.
Edinburgh's
right, well,
Caledonian
basically, the reason I got annoyed, right, because I went and looked up how much it would have cost, right? And it's 19 quid for a steak frites. It's £9 for that chocolate thing that he had. He never had a drink. He never paid for a drink. 28 quid for that, right? And you could go to Chez Jules, right, on Hanover Street. You get 3 courses. You get the salad on your table, right? You get the salad. You get the pickles. You get the pickles and what is it you get again? You get the pickles and the meats. You get like a couple of bits of meat and like you get like the salami and that. That's free. And then you can have a French onion soup or like mussels or like anyway. You get steak frites soup or a panna cotta. It's £12.90 every day from like 12 till 4 or something, right? I'm not getting paid off Chez Jules. I'm just saying. You get two. You can feed 2 folk for less than what that bam paid for all that nonsense in there. Right, come on, eh? You like that? Oh, that noise. Well, what rip it in, right? Well, let's watch your live stream then, right? What you got to talk about? I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to tell people that it's too expensive to go there and it's rubbish, even though I've not been there. Right, next up, I'll come back to that. I'll go for you the bell. I'm not going to. Right, maybe we'll see. Right, this is the meltdown that everyone was having yesterday about. I'm still at a loss about what clams is. Let me pause it again. Right, so everyone was having a meltdown. So there was a march at the weekend. There was a Tommy Robinson march in London, and then there was a stand up to racism event as well. And everyone got. It's kind of weird, isn't it, that we've got a live streamed genocide, and then we have a kind of like overly zealous, kind of like mad reaction to anybody that does or says something that's out with the conventional norms of behaviour, you know, or like just your general kind of civilities. And it's like, so this looks like a shot of Reddit. The Patriots of Britain. So you've got people who are pro-genocide, racist, Islamophobic, yeah, you know, reactionaries losing their shit about somebody and their Ritalin kid, basically. So it's quite funny, the polarisation. Let's have a look.
Things that people are unhappy with if it doesn't go with the what is accepted.
Political correctness, Overton window.
And you know, they call it the woke karate, and there is some truth in that, absolutely. So I have sympathy with people that hold different views and feel disenfranchised because they're not allowed to express them. But there are ways to express things in a gentle way that doesn't hurt other people, right?
What specifically are you concerned with in terms of harm? People damaging like mosques and that sort of thing? Hate speech breeds actions of hate, right? So to be fair though, this says fuck off Nazis. I'm sure they wouldn't consider themselves that, right? Do you think there's a bit of a double standard at play?
Well, they wouldn't consider themselves Nazis, but there are definitely similarities in the things they're saying and the ways that some of them behave.
Yeah.
So,
I want to be fair to both sides here in the sense
about actions, right? And if you're taking action that is, defiling, other religions' beliefs and mosques and whatever it is, then you are.
Their argument is, hey, we're Christians. The Muslims are disrespecting our religion and our children and our women and that sort of thing.
Those people wouldn't call themselves Nazis, right?
Sure. And you guys probably wouldn't call yourself like communists or left.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No. So I mean, if
Communists
they say
or
fuck
left,
off commies, it doesn't affect me because I don't consider myself a communist.
Got it.
So.
It's an interesting.
Thank you so much for trying to help. We got the sign.
I never actually saw that bit before. I saw another bit of the video when the kid was going on. Everyone was going mad about the kid because he was a bit of like a Ritalin sprog, you know. But I think it's quite interesting actually what she just said there, because he was going like, oh, if they call you a commie, and that's like they're calling you a commie and that, and she goes, I don't consider myself. I never heard her say that before, but she goes like, I don't consider myself a commie. And I think that's quite interesting, because the problem that I have with all of that kind of identity politicking, kind of like, superficial window dressing of kind of what, obsessing about kind of weird aspects of this cultural spectrum, is that what the right, if you want to call it that, call the far left, or like woke stuff or whatever, it's like that's nothing to do with what the far left is, what a far left position would be. Because a far left position would be a class-based movement against capital, which would be a communist movement. And, you know, I would consider myself far left, but I don't consider myself remotely relatable to the type of identity politics that has been endemic within the culture over the last decade or so. But it's something that's always kind of irritated me a wee bit, is this kind of idea that what I call, well, not just me, what is demonstrably the neoliberal left, which is people like this lady here. They're not really anything to do with what the far left is. So that's always something that's just irritated me a wee bit, you know, this insistence on what is left. Let's get down to the nitty gritty and find out what the far left actually is, right? That'd be a much more interesting thing. That promo was horrible as well. Do they not have to? Well, no, they never put. Are you trying to tell me they never got paid for that? Of course they got paid for it. Of course they got paid for it. And it's the same thing, you know. I was saying that thing. I think if you go to a public, like these guys, that guy that's filming that woman, he's, what would you call it? Clout farming or clout mining or something. Is that what the kids call it? Yeah, clout farming. It's like I'd be pretty wary. I mean, I guess if you're on one of these protests, you're probably not. Self-awareness isn't probably a high priority. But if somebody came up to me and was wanting to ask me like why I was there, other than like why are you there? It's obvious why you're there. Whichever march you're on, the innocence of the interview is soon going to be sullied by where it gets presented and what the caption is put above your name, like, you know. So something to consider. But I think it's kind of. I would go so far to say that I find it a bit exploitative. I don't think it's particularly fair to find just some raj in a crowd of people and then just go, right, brilliant, we've found somebody that's a bit of a teapot. Let's make this a sort of synonymous example of this entire event or whatever. I'm not quite sure that's the right thing to do. However, I think it is important to acknowledge the level. Well, first of all, there is a clear demographic between who Tommy Robinson can bring out onto the streets and who the neoliberal left can bring out on the streets. And one is middle class, and the other one is not middle class. The other one is what I call it working class. It's a much more predominantly working class. Aggrieved and angry bunch of cats. Katrina Grant chimes in, and I think it's maybe worth thinking about this. It's definitely a problem, this categorisation of the left. It's definitely a problem in terms of how people's perception. Idiot terms like cultural Marxism have popped around for years, until you end up, somebody like me actually goes, I started to go, right, well, I know what they mean by cultural Marxism. It made no sense when people started using this term. It's just an idiot term. It was just sort of really annoying. You would see it and get annoyed. Like, what are you talking about, cultural Marxism? What stupid term. Until eventually it's kind of reified because you go, right, well, actually, I know what people mean when they use it pejoratively in that sense. So then it kind of becomes something at that point. So now I would actually subscribe to, like, I don't think I've ever used it, but I don't think I would be as condescending or reactionary. Well, not at all. I mean, if somebody uses the term, I
kind of do know. I know what they mean, and I don't think it's the people that use it. They don't necessarily. It's not a sum of people's parts. You know, it's like it's called cultural Bolshevism. All right. Craig Houston calls Keir Starmer a communist. Well, Craig Houston's a bit of a strange guy, isn't he? Another opportunist. There's a couple, but it's a time for opportunists. It's a time for opportunists. I hate the term the left. I hate the term the left. I've decided I'm just a communist. No one's just a communist. I'm non-binary when it comes to politics. Definitely exploitative. A lot of folks turn up to any event nowadays purposely to interview folks to get clicks. I'm not really sure they care about whatever issue they are reporting on. That's absolutely correct. The social media pathology has affected all things and everything, and nothing is real. But then nothing is real anyway. It's, in all honesty. I saw that guy, Pissed Magnus, this morning. I'll maybe find his video. You ever see that guy, Pissed Magnus, I think his name is? I'll find his video. And he was saying something about Richard Dawkins had been talking to Jordan Peterson. And Peterson's obviously a total teapot, you know. But kind of has managed to grift his way along. I don't like using that word, by the way, but I'll use it occasionally. But Peterson, but that Magnus guy was saying something. He was saying something quite interesting. I will find it now actually, and he was going because it reminded me of that Zizek thing about symbolic efficiency. If you're aware of that concept, which is pretty interesting. Oh yeah, before I do that, I want to know who's this account, the fast-loving, sin-soaked heathen. They try to make out that they're a hippie. I went and looked at their channel, but it's like they've put a thing here where it's like Gorgie Ultras and other Hearts fans once again belt out the unacceptable version of the Billy Boys on their way to Easter Road for today's Hibs game, right? But that's a bunch of Rangers fans that you've overdubbed on the top of it. So why are you being such a knob in doing that? So it's just another example of just people, you know, what kind of an account is that? An idiot's account. That's whose account that is. Can't be bothered with that stuff. This isn't Japan, I think this is San Francisco, is it?
We will make America healthy with Bobby again. We will make America strong again.
Not long until the not long. This is an interesting interview. Let's have a quick look at it because I think I can cut it out a wee bit.
What are a large strike or a small strike? It was relatively unsuccessful, even though it was large, because Iran's air defenses downed many of the missiles. But still, it's an act of aggression. And it was carried out, of course, with U.S. support. The U.S. controls Iraqi airspace. And the people of Iraq will remember that, by the way, in the future, that the Americans collaborated with the Israeli regime using Jordan and Iraq. People will remember that. But Iran will have to strike because the only way to stop Netanyahu and the Israeli regime is through creating deterrence. And since Netanyahu carries out genocide in Gaza with Western support, and the West does not yank hard on his leash and they allow him to continue, Iran has to slap him down itself because the West supports him. So if Iran does not reply...
You've used a couple of words there that you know are rejected by Israel and many others in the West. Genocide and the Holocaust are completely rejected as terms of action based in those areas, as you know. I want to try and look forward to potential round of peace or ceasefire negotiations, hostage returns potentially happening in Qatar. Some observers saying, well, with these strikes back and forth between Iran, if this is a potential pause in that now, that increases the chances of constructive talks towards a ceasefire in Gaza. Is that your assessment or not?
Well, first I should point out that, as you said, many in the West don't see this as a genocide, but across the world we see it as a genocide and a Holocaust. You cannot hide it from the world. But I think it's quite clear that the Iranians will respond, and the Iranians will not be fooled again. Last time round, after the Israeli regime murdered and martyred Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran when he was attending the...
I just think it's pretty interesting that that's a good example of where we're at, you know, where there's a complete and utter rejection of the actuality of what's occurring. Anybody that, you know, our established British position, our position from our mainstream media and, you know, the general establishment is that there is no genocide, there is no Holocaust. There is no sense that this is the level of atrocity that's occurring, and we're not allowed to use these terms. You tell me. Let's just relax.
Things would never change. You drove me crazy on the highway, just for a little taste.
I don't know what was going on with that. Let's just listen to Wizard's video.
86 of the genocide. Everyone, this is Bisan from Gaza. It's the day 386 of the genocide. And I just have no words remain to describe the situation in Gaza Strip or to tell you anything to do. Because simply the situation in the north of Gaza Strip is as this. No one is able to return to the north of Gaza. The north means Jabalia, Beit Lahia, and Beit Hanun. They told the people that it is a short military operation and everyone will be able to go back to their homes and to the camp and everywhere after evacuating them, of course, forcibly evacuating them. But then all what we see is that the Israeli army is cutting the roads between Gaza City and the north of Gaza Strip and permanently setting the army and the tanks and the soldiers in between Gaza City and the north. So what we are saying, what we are watching now is that people the north, even the north of Gaza Strip is separated between the north and Gaza City itself. And also, the Israeli army is pushing now and putting more pressure on the west of Gaza Strip. Yesterday, they bombed Asma school. Asma school is full of displaced people in a shelter refugee camp. They killed people while waiting in an aid distribution line. And it's the second time to bomb this school in 2 weeks. They put more pressure in other areas also in Gaza City. So what is happening in the north is as what is happening in the south. People are not able to go to Rafah. We are all trapped in Khan Yunis and the middle area, which is Deir al-Balah. Only trapped in this area, and as well the people in the north of Gaza Strip trapped in Gaza City, and they cannot go to the north towns. So yeah, these are the updates that you need to know. And yesterday more than 3 journalists were killed. The number of journalists killed until now during the genocide is more than 180 journalists. That means that the Israeli army is saying day after day that we are going to kill more people, and we are non-stop genociding the whole population in Gaza Strip, but we don't want eyes or witnesses or anyone to talk about this. The genocide is ongoing and the situation is just deteriorating day after day, and I promise I'm saying the truth. And this is the truth. The situation now in Gaza Strip is the worst since the beginning of the genocide. It was never worse than this, and unfortunately looks like it is going to be maybe worse later because of the ongoing emptying of the places and ongoing, trapping people in the middle of Gaza Strip. No one is in the north, and no one is the far north, and no one is the far south in Rafah and in Jabalia, Beit Hanun and Beit Lahia. Anyone is there is going to be killed. That's it. And of course, when he or she or they are killed, there's no hospitals, there's no ambulance, there's no civil defense, there's no one. Anyone who is injured will plead to death. Anyone who is killed will just stay there. The body will not be removed from the streets or from under the rubble, and so on. And of course, anyone who is alive there will die soon because there's no medicine, no water, or no food. This is the situation in Gaza Strip. Hey everyone, this is...
Well, there you go. So the BBC don't allow anybody to use the term genocide or Holocaust, and but it's pretty evident that that's what's going on. One thing to mention about this, by the way, if you do watch What the X, or if you're a lurker, or if you're a lover, whatever you're doing, try and share What the X if you can, because we know we're well informed that because of some of the subjects that we tackle here and some of the terms that we use regularly, we are actively suppressed on the YouTube platform as a result of my refusal to not use these terms, rather. So yeah, if you're able to do that, it's always appreciated. Right, this guy here, have you seen him? Pissed Magitus.
I'm not interested in...
This is a good...
I think you're drunk on symbols. I'm not interested in dragons, I'm interested in reality.
Yeah, see, the thing is, stories exist in reality. Our entire civilization is a story made of symbols. It's a game we all play, a story we're all telling each other that only functions because we either consciously or subconsciously agree to participate, because we believe in the story. Money is a symbol. It represents value. It doesn't really have inherent value, but we trade it for things like assets and resources that do have inherent value. This system only works because we collectively believe in this symbol. To an evolutionary biologist who only cares about reality, this is not a police officer. This is an ape dressed up in a fancy outfit. The fancy outfit is a symbol. It represents authority. If people started disregarding that authority, it would disappear. There are not enough police officers to enforce the authority if people stop believing in the symbol. I mean, look at yourself showing up to have a chat in a suit and tie, a symbol that signals to the world that you are a serious, professional, adult male ape. And look at the double helix on your tie. That's a symbol. And I know in biology it's a real thing, but on a tie it's you using a symbol to communicate to people something about who you are, what your values are, and how you want to be interpreted. You're using a symbol to tell a story about the ape named Richard Dawkins. See, when you have debates like this, I don't believe that you are interested in reality. I think you're interested in discrediting religious institutions that derive their power from people's beliefs in these stories. I agree with you. We should discredit institutions that gain power by manipulating people with misleading and dogmatic interpretations of stories and symbols. But let's not pretend that this is exclusively the domain of religious institutions. The human race is told a story of growth and progress, of innovation, of the pursuit of justice and equality. But the reality doesn't really reflect the story, does it? There are more slaves in the world today than there ever have been. The gap between the poorest among us and the richest is bigger than ever before. Modern-day aristocrats chosen by the invisible, infallible hand of the market, feeding the Western people lies about ethics, morality, Western values, and human rights, made possible by exporting the brunt of their oppression and exploitation to where it's out of sight and out of mind in the developing world. I mean, the phrase "the developing world" in and of itself is a piece of rhetorical trickery, a misleading story. These places places are actively destabilized and kept from developing to provide the cheap labor and the cheap resources that this entire story is propped up on top of, that props up the symbol, that props up the authority, that props up the mouthpiece, that props up the power structure who feed on the collective vulnerability and gullibility of the human animal. Our wealth is made out of debt and based on a system of overproduction and wasteful consumption, and now we've consumed ourselves to the brink of catastrophe. Now, I don't think that this happens because people value symbols too much, but rather because they don't understand them at all. When people become symbolically illiterate, they can no longer distinguish between symbols and reality, and that is when the voice of authority becomes the unquestionable truth.
I think you're drunk.
He's very good. I like his skits. You should follow that guy if you're into that type of vibe. Piss Majestus, I think his name is. And I'll tell you what else I was going to check here whilst I was still here. What was it? I can't remember now. I went to see Cass is Dead last night. Although it's not. Oh wait, maybe I need to do that. At the Caves. It was good, man. It was a good vibe. Right, now. He is good, aye. He's good, I like his videos. They're short and pithy, and he's a philosophical chap. He's a philosophical chap who likes to take down capital, and anyone doing that, I'm like, fair play. So, 50 Hawaii Five-0 made a video at the weekend on his Patreon, and it was it was very good. I watched it. Did I watch? Is this which is the one? I want to choose the right
Nature.
one.
What the project was going to ages ago, just a year earlier. I'm getting good with that maths, aren't I? And the production team made it clear that the project...
That's a different one. Is it this one? Right, is Creative Scotland guilty of corruption? Is it a question that has to be asked? Anyway, this is 50's wee promo for his look here.
When I was looking at the awardees for March 2022, I seen a company that was awarded over £220,000 worth of grant-and-aid funding. That company was Jupiter Artland Limited. And if you've been paying attention, you remember that multi-millionaire, entrepreneur, chair of Creative Scotland, Robert Wilson, owns Jupiter Artland.
Fancy that.
So the top kiddie, the big kahuna, the most mature cheese in the fridge, Robert Wilson, his own company manages to get quite a substantial amount of money for Creative Scotland after the back of the COVID pandemic. And also a direct employee of the same business gets funding as well. Is this totally innocent? Or is it corruption? I don't want to sit here and make assumptions. So do you want to know what I done? I asked him by email. So the thing is, I didn't really want to be too obvious about what I was trying to find out. So I decided to be vaguely honest. When I was looking at the awardees...
So I watched it, and it's brilliant, and he did a really good job, and 50's great, and you should follow his YouTube channel if
content
you can.
in this video has been created strictly
I'll
for
see if I can,
educational and investigational purposes. There is no intention to glamorise or endorse criminality or any aspect of crime. The information in this video has been acquired online from publicly available sources.
I can't mind what I've done. How do I do this? Oh, we've had a we've had a meltdown. What's happened? I thought I'd be able to play it. Anyway, I'll drop the link in. I'll drop the link in here. How do I get it to go here? Yeah. Anyway, I'd thoroughly recommend. What's going on? What's with all the technicals? Is that it there?
Disclaimer, content in this video has been created strictly for educational and investigational purposes. There is no intention Disclaimer, content in this video has been created strictly for educational and investigational purposes. There is no intention to glamorise or endorse criminality or any aspect of crime. The information in this video has been acquired online from publicly available sources.
You couldn't get more glamorous.
Creative Scotland, an organisation tasked with dishing out millions of pounds to Scotland's arts and creative industries. It was meant to be a bridge that would carry artists to the land of creativity over the rivers of financial insecurity. But did they really do the deal? Recently, Creative Scotland faced backlash after announcing they would need to close the open fund for individuals due to budget uncertainties. The decision comes after Scottish Government refused to confirm the release of £6.6 million worth of funding. This resulted in many people condemning the decision, saying it was
Basically, it's worth watching, and I'm going to put the link in the chat just now so that folk can check it if they've not already checked it. But he does a really good job. He does a really good job, and I think it should be obvious to anybody. I mean, it's not just that it's corrupt. It's shite. That's the main problem with it. Like, you know. Where is it here? There we go. Right, okay. I'll pop it in the chat. There you go. So check out 50's video if you're interested to find out. Another person worth following if you're interested in what's going on in the horror of Gaza is Matt Kennard. He's a really good reporter. Keir Starmer's Secret War on Gaza. I'll have to look at that later. It's a long thread, but Matt Kennard is a great reporter. Anything I can't. I should probably mute Alistair Campbell. I'll come back to this maybe on another day. This woman's quite dangerous in my opinion. This Kemi, what's her name? Kemi Badenoch, you know. She's got just enough savvy to be a problem, you know. She's a pretty nasty piece of work from what I can gather. She's gathering support amongst certain sections of the culture, which is quite interesting to see who's gravitating towards her, because they kind of give themselves away by gravitating towards her. IMHO. The left. We have to pose the question, don't we? What's left? What's left of the left? What is the left? Do we even want to be calling ourselves left anymore? Do we want to think of something new? Is there some new terminology that we need to apply here? It's definitely worth considering about. It's something that it's hard to find it because again, it would be it's a kind of it's almost like a triumph of neoliberalism in some ways, to blur and obscure those traditional boundaries or whatever they were, you know. No, I haven't read that, but I know about it. AI is that AI? I don't know. the AI thing's getting a bit mental. Well, welcome to I can't be bothered. Just can't even be bothered. Everybody's wants our attention, don't they? Look at this, endless. This is the news cycle. This is now the news cycle, isn't it? Look, you could just do it forever, couldn't you? Constantly there. You've got your own news cycle. The algorithm will choose it for you. Just keep scrolling. Just keep scrolling. Stay a while. Stay forever. Look at that. I can just keep scrolling. Right. 4 minutes to 11. Monday, right. I'll be back on Wednesday evening. Perhaps with some hyper-local information. Perhaps with something altogether different as well. Who knows? But thanks very much for joining me this morning, folks. It has been a pleasure. Quite a busy Monday morning, quite frankly, on What the X, which is always nice. A few new names in there. Remember to like and subscribe. You can, I'll tell you what you can do. You can even, if you're feeling flush, you can buy me a coffee. Where's that thing again? There's me coffee. I'll pop that in as well. You'll get a campaign update in due course, soldier. Don't worry. Have a good day, everyone. Thanks, Bob. Thank you, Macapella. I'm going to leave you with a cool track from Cass Dead. It's Pat Earrings. It's the track that I knew him best for. And a really interesting artist and a really interesting concept in the way that he does his vibe. A good live act as well. Yes, King Kong. I think this is something to come back to. We can. Did you feel Salmon's funeral was a bit of a non-event considering his influence? The short answer to that is yes. Salmon's sullying, or whatever the ifs and buts of it was, the establishment had distanced themselves from him, and had all that stuff not happened, it probably would have been a very sombre live streamed, an entire day devoted to Salmon from the BBC, etc., etc., and that would have been a thing. Right, I'm leaving you with a cool track from Cass Dead, and have a great day. I'll see you all on Wednesday evening for What the Six. Ciao.
CSO on a lake plate. Him bait got Bowie banging in the tape. Big brick Nokia, man playing Snake. I see that yellow bone, she got mad yellow cake. Says she's available today for a date. Miss cool tennis, now I'm getting jealous, maybe I was overzealous. You see I tend to oversell it, but when I first saw her it was end credits. Got the text dipped on the fellas, straight to her premises, it's always the premise. Satisfaction guaranteed, that's a promise. She's not one for chat, I'm just being honest. And maybe I want more than just right now, laying that pipe down, neighbours saying pipe down. I I turn up and turn the lights down. Money on the nightstand, making all the right sound. Use a glove when we getting off. Cost too much to take it off. I love her too much to pay in duds.
I know you wanna come and get it, I'ma give it to you. I know you wanna come and get it, I'ma give it to you. I know you wanna come and get it, I'ma give it to you. I know you wanna come and get it, I'ma give it to you. I know you wanna come and get it, I'ma give it to you. I know you wanna come and get it, I'ma give it to you.
Yeah, I'm dead serious. I'm ready now, I wanna get serious. I'm looking for the girlfriend experience. I'm looking for a girl with experience. She don't watch my appearance. I'm paying for the pleasure of this here appearance. I think I might let her meet the parents. To be fair, could do without their interference. You near, you in the area? Cause yeah, you met my search criteria. I call her at work for a word with her. Must be abroad cause my phone bill's murder love. You wanna be my Valentine's? Dirty spa weekend at Bannatyne. Submariner, maritime. Married at the Marriott, summertime. Said I'm the only one she bangs now. Stopped escorting, she's only doing cams now. You're making all these plans till I posed as a punter and caught her with her pants down. Heartbroken, I'm at wit's end. She's never accepted by my friends. It's cool cause I never liked them.